I know I said I wasn't going to come back to this for a while. However, too much stuff has come out. I just had to come back and do this and talk about that stuff. And we are already not off to a good start. So, since last time, which at this point was only 3 days ago, I think. Yeah, 3 days ago, I have not done a lot of progress on going through the permutations. In fact, I've only gotten through 9 successful permutations. I've been stuck on this one for a couple days. I know I should just move on, try others, but like, well, if I'm not stuck on this now, I'll be stuck on it later. So I'm stuck on permutation number 10, which is get rid of 2, get rid of 2, get rid of 4, and then catch the last one. I almost got it to work several times, but clearly none just have worked. I am so close to giving up on doing permutations, but permutations are like the best shot I have. Unfortunately, this permutation is difficult as hell, and even if I get through all the different permutations, I'm not even guaranteed a shiny. So I'm really gambling with my time a lot. But I'll try it a little bit more. I did only manage to get a handful of permutations to work, and when I mean a handful, I mean I can count them on one hand. That's how many I've done successfully since last time. Aside from this being very difficult, I just haven't had a lot of time. Been rather busy these past couple days, so I honestly just haven't had a lot of time. Also, yesterday night, I couldn't do anything. So, here is day 14 of Eternatus. And then here is day 15, so today. I could have done the 40 raids today, because today was the makeup day for the Go Fest. But I had to work today at the new job, and the new job has no gyms. So I did no raids today. It just couldn't be yesterday, you know? Yesterday I was at the family store, I was able to walk around and do raids. But no, it couldn't have been yesterday, it had to be today. So for the most part today, we're going to try to get this permutation successfully done, this one permutation. And if we can, then we just simply move on. Oh, also, today is like day 2 of the whatever event it is where all the starter Pokemon in Pokemon Go are in the wild, and they all have a chance to have special backgrounds based on your team. So you already know what I'm after. I wanted a Charmander with the background, because I'm Team Valor. Well, that's easy, you know, got that secured. Of course, I want Froakie with the Team Mystic background. I already have a friend who caught one for me, and we're going to trade. So, waiting on that. But then there is Rowlet. And out of the 3 colors, well, the Instinct yellow color background matches the best. And because I don't know anyone IRL who can catch and trade me one, what I ended up doing was I made a new account on my sister's phone using my mom's email. And I managed to catch this. A Mystic background... What? An Instinct background Rowlet. You know what was actually the bitch with this? So I spent all day catching everything, not just Rowlets, every starter that spawned. All day, and not a single background. I was thinking, do I have to reach a certain level to unlock backgrounds? I looked it up, and no, you can get backgrounds right from the jump. So I'm thinking, what's going on? I spent all day catching every single starter that spawned, not a single background. It wasn't until closing time to go home, The final Rowlet I caught before leaving, boom, background. Like, in a way, it was just meant to be, you know? There are certain things that happened recently in Pokemon Go that were just meant to be. Kind of like me wanting a Froakie with a background. Specifically from my game, so with the Valor background, the red one. Turns out, from the daily egg, you're able to hatch them with the background, since at this moment, we don't know if this will change in the future, at this moment, the daily egg only hatches starters. It turns out you can hatch the starters with the background, and guess what? I hatched a Froakie, of all things, with the background. It was just meant to be. Kind of like how my first Shadow Froakie was a 93 IV. It was 13, 15, 15. I was just meant to have these good Froakies. Or these special ones. And then, you know, all day, trying to get even just a single background, and nothing. When I finally got a background for the day, it was the one I wanted, being Rowlet. So, I will indeed be trading that to my own game in due time, and I might even bottle cap it. Like, I may even silver bottle cap it in the future. Since, like I mentioned, did I say silver? I may even gold bottle cap it in the future. Since I mentioned before, I don't want to use the gold bottle cap on shinies, as much of a sin as that is to not use it on shinies. I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking preservation's sake. Because one day, if and when Pokemon Go dies, I plan to transfer all my shiny Pokemon into Pokemon Home. And I can't do that if they have been hyper-trained with the gold bottle cap. So, I'm gonna avoid using the bottle cap on shiny Pokemon. Background Pokemon, they're whatever, you know? The backgrounds don't carry over. So the backgrounds, they'll go down with the ship. And not only did I get one background Rowlet, I actually got two. Two of these. I got two of these. And I'm thinking, well, honestly, if I still have time, I may try to do the whole line. I was gonna try that all day today, but my sister needed her phone back. So, L. However, as an added bonus, there was another Pokemon I wanted to get a Mystic... I keep getting the names mixed up. There was another Pokemon who I wanted to get the Instinct yellow background with, but it was so low, like the chances of getting this was so low. Part of me just didn't think it was going to happen. Part of me was thinking, I'll try, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. Like, I don't think I will actually get it. Yeah, you see, I need all four of them to run here. So what I wanted was specifically a female Sprigatito with the background, so that I can have a female Meowscarada with the background. Now, the chances of that happening were so low, I wasn't counting on it happening. Oh, I actually got one. I actually got one, a female Sprigatito with the background. I already traded that one to myself, garbage IVs, and I already evolved it. Maybe a contender for the gold bottle cap one day. I don't really care about... for a second I got excited that it worked, but no. For this to work, it needs to be one left, not two. I have not been able to get this to work, to get one remaining. Because I need to remove two, then remove 4. That equals 8. And there are 9 in the first wave. By now I have seen every possibility, except for the one I'm trying to achieve. So yeah, I pretty much got everything that I wanted from the event, aside from So I got the Valor, the red Valor background with the Charmander. I have, waiting to trade to me, the blue Mystic background with the Froakie. And I already got myself not only the yellow Instinct background with a Rowlet, but also the yellow Instinct background with a female Sprigatito. I got everything I wanted. I just have everything I wanted from this event. Now, if I want to take it a step further, obviously, I would want a shiny Charmander so that I can get a shiny Charizard with the red background. But that just wasn't going to happen. I tried my best. In the time that I had, I tried my best, but no luck. I really wish they boosted the shiny odds for this event, kind of like they did for the Pikachu event, the costume Pikachu event that happened just before this one. Because there would be so much trade baiting, you know? I would have traded for a shiny Charizard with the background. In fact, the only shiny I got from this event was a Squirtle. Out of all the starters I caught, I only got a shiny Squirtle. And of course, it did not have a background, because why would it? So of course I would have wanted a shiny Charizard with the background, but that wasn't going to happen. And if I want to take it even a step further in the Go Pass, of course I would have wanted a shiny party hat costume Charmander with the background too. Because the Go Pass, all of them were guaranteed backgrounds. But sadly, no luck from me. Oh well, I'll just settle for a regular one. See, me personally, I like shiny Charizard better than the regular. I like the red wings better. So that's why I would always go for a shiny Charizard. But that's just me. Remember, I need all 4 of them to be scared off, assuming I did everything before this right. And I don't think this played out properly. So, let me think. So, a couple of things came out, pieces of news, trailers, because San Diego Comic-Con happened. It might still be happening, actually, but more importantly, the trailers came out. Some of the trailers were coming out, or announcements as well. Oh, also, we got the face reveal for the Wolverine game, and his face does not look that good. His face does not look like Wolverine. And I'm trying my best not to compare his face to Hugh Jackman's, but it's kind of hard not to, right? Like, his face does not make me think of Wolverine. Well, too bad I won't be playing the game because the hell with Sony and PlayStation. Anyway, so we got the Clayface trailer for DC. And you know what? A lot of the discourse I'm seeing online is that it looks pretty good. It looks interesting. It looks, me personally, it looks much better. It looks leagues better than the Supergirl movie, which I still have not seen yet as of this moment. I wonder if that counts. If one stops running and 2 run and 2 others run as I quick travel away, I wonder if that counts. Or does it count as 3 getting removed? Oh, you know another thing? So, like, halfway through the day, I started to feel gassy. I started to feel like maybe something needed to come out. When I came home, I tried sitting on the toilet twice, but nothing was coming out. So, I don't know if I'm backed up or not. I went this morning. I don't know. I feel like tonight's gonna be a gassy night, especially when I'm in bed trying to go to sleep. I do have to wake up early tomorrow morning, so fingers crossed that whatever's going on now will be resolved tomorrow morning. Wait a second, don't I need 2 removed right now? Well, it doesn't matter, as long as 2 get scared away here. Like that. I also tried this, we went to the supermarket the other day, and we tried this, we bought this bottle of... It says Light Up Jasmine Snowbud Milk Tea. This the shit I always order when I'm getting bubble tea. I order the jasmine milk tea. So we saw this pre-bottled stuff in the supermarket. We decided to give it a try. I decided to give it a try today, and it tastes a little funky. It certainly doesn't smell that nice when you open the bottle. And it's just like, this pre-made stuff kind of ain't hitting as hard. You know? Not like when the milk and the tea are freshly mixed together. This pre-made stuff kind of ain't hitting. See, I don't know if it counts if 2 of them stop running. I don't think it does, though. I think they actively need to be moving for it to count. Okay, so the Clayface trailer. It looks pretty good. It looks horrific. It looks gory. It looks violent. It looks like a complete 180 tonal shift from Superman and Supergirl. In a way, I like it. You know, in a way, I like that the DC universe is going to have a bunch of different tones. But on the other hand, it's like, well, sure, people complain, but Marvel, you got to admit, Marvel did succeed by having a ton of their films be like damn near tonally the same. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see what it is. However, again, it is strange that this is our first introduction to Gotham City in the DCU. We can all thank Matt Reeves for that. You know, in my opinion, they really should just merge. They should merge Robert Pattinson's Batman with David Cornsweet's Superman. They really should just merge them together at this point. There's nothing contradicting, you know, there's no continuity errors that would happen because of that. What the hell? Did you see that Mime Jr. go up the tree? Well, since that Mime Jr. was still moving, I'm gonna assume that this works. So yeah, we can thank Matt Reeves for this being, well, unintentionally, indirectly making this the first introduction to Gotham City in the DCU. So, Clayface. You know, I completely forgot until I saw people online point this out. We already saw Clayface in Creature Commandos. So, is this movie a prequel to that show? It kind of has to be. Unless they're doing the other version of Clayface, which I don't think they are. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, there are 2 Clayfaces in DC Comics. However, I think only one of the 2 is this actual sludge monster, shapeshifter. So I think this is meant to be the same Clayface. So if anything, this movie would be a prequel. Because, you know, Creature Commandos directly kind of continues in Peacemaker, which takes place after Superman. So Creature Commandos, Superman, Peacemaker Season 2, there's kind of no way to say that this takes place after, if we've already seen Clayface. So the timeline may be Clayface, Creature Commandos, Superman, Peacemaker Season 2. Oh, right, I forgot Supergirl. Well, I'm curious about it. It is very strange that Clayface, of all characters, is getting a movie before Batman, but who else would this be, right? We already got the Joker movies, albeit the second one, everyone pretends that one doesn't exist. We already got the Penguin series. Like, who else would we... Who else could we get, like, as a new solo project? We already got a ton of solo Harley Quinn projects prior. You know, this may actually have counted, since if a Mr. Mime is here, then I know it didn't work. That one is too far away. Or not. Lovely. Only one of you ran away. So 3 were moving away. If I did this correctly, then only 2 should remain. But that's not doing it correctly. I need 1 to remain. But for this run, if I only have 2 left, then I know it was done correctly for this botched attempt. I don't really know if this is worth doing. I'm doing this for a not guaranteed shiny alpha. You know what I'm saying? Okay, no, I did not do this properly. Like, if there was a shiny in these bunch of permutations, then I keep going, then I'll be guaranteed to get it. But that's the issue. I'm not guaranteed. There is a chance that there is no shiny alpha hidden somewhere in the code. So I would have just wasted a bunch of time when I could be doing random encounters and hoping for the best. At least then, I would actually have a chance. And that would not be wasting my time. Okay, so, yeah, Clayface. I'm excited. Can you believe that? I'm actually... I wouldn't say excited. I'm interested. My curiosity is tickled. And, you know, I really hope DC, James Gunn, I really hope they do not go the Sony route. I don't know what's been going on with Sony the past many years, but they have been making wrong decisions after wrong decisions. Like with the Spider-Man adjacent villain films. I already lost count. Do I need to make 2 disappear again? I think so. I don't think it was time for me to get rid of 4 at once. Yeah, making the Spider-Man villain movies and then with the physical games. So I really hope James Gunn and DC do not make the villain-centered movies into anti-heroes. I wish he will keep them as villains. Make Clayface an actual villain. Irredeemable. You know he's not good. He's not fighting for, you know, for justice and what's right. He's actually just a killer who only goes for himself. Please keep him as a villain so that one day we get a Batman to face off against him. So I really hope that he doesn't... Obviously there's going to be an antagonist in the film, right? Clayface isn't just gonna get his powers and then just kill civilians on the street for no reason. So I'm really hoping that they will keep him as a villain. Let's see, aside from Clayface, we did also get the Resident Evil trailer starring Austin Abrams. And the moment I saw him, I instantly recognized him. He played Ron in The Walking Dead. I instantly recognized him. I think that's the only thing I recognize him from. Was he also in Weapons? I don't remember him being in Weapons. He's also in Euphoria. What the hell? He's also in Euphoria, which I have not watched. What was that? What was in front of me? Anyway, so the Resident Evil trailer. Oh, he was also in Paper Towns? I watched that. I don't remember him being in it. Okay, so the Resident Evil trailer. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not all that familiar with the Resident Evil games. Like, I'm not that big of an expert on them. Did this... does this trailer even, like, really connect to the games? Like, it's not an adaptation one-to-one. Like, it's not Leon Kennedy. At least I'm pretty sure he doesn't play Leon Kennedy. No offense, Austin, but if you were to play Leon Kennedy, you would be a hard miscast. By the way, you know, sometimes I've gotten this to work. Sometimes I've gotten all four of them to flee, but it still didn't work out for me. Something went wrong along the way, and then only two were left instead of one. So I don't know. It's really hard. So, the Resident Evil trailer. I think in the trailer his character's name is Brian. So, Brian is a delivery guy, and he gets sent to a delivery. He's arguing with his girl on something. Here, let me see. If I... Does this count since you attacked me but you're not running? He hits a woman in the middle of the snowy road. So then he follows the footprints and the blood back to a house, a cabin in literal nowhere. He finds a shotgun and the shells, and then some woman figure is running frantically towards the house while he's alone there. It isn't until the end of the trailer that we hear that his delivery is being sent to Raccoon City. I know Raccoon City. So I'm very curious how they're going to adapt Resident Evil this time. Because remember the early 2000s movies? I wonder if it's at all connected to those movies, or if this is like a reboot for the film franchise. It'd be cool if they connected it. But, you know, just a mention of Raccoon City, the character should be like, oh hell no, I'm not going there. You crazy? That's a suicide mission. Okay, now let's talk about. I was about to say let's talk about the big announcements, but we do have one more trailer to go over. I think. I don't think I'm missing any others. The trailer for Other Mommy, starring Jessica Chastain. This movie looks creepy. This movie looks awesome. It looks intriguing. Yo, is this year the year for horror movies? Because we have Obsession, which I still haven't watched yet. I will watch it soon. I want to watch it. I really, really want to watch it. But I just don't have a lot of time these days. No, 3 are running. Ah, whatever. Let's see that Mr. Mime spawn. So, this movie looks like it's a premise of some sort of creature, evil being, demonic entity that is posing as this girl's mother, posing as Jessica Chastain's character, where you don't know, is it the real mother or is it this creature that's posing as her? It looks really cool. I want to go see it. Yep, I knew that Mr. Mime would be there. So, there's not a whole lot for me to say besides it looks creepy as hell, and I'm very interested. See, original movie ideas. Yo, yo, we might actually be back. And you know, speaking of being back, so let's go over the Marvel announcements at San Diego Comic-Con. There wasn't many. There wasn't too many. But some of their announcements were hype. Ugh. So up first. I can't believe this is actually real. Ghost Rider, starring Ryan Gosling. It's actually real. Now, the meme was Ryan Gosling plays Black Panther, but Ryan Gosling actually playing Ghost Rider? Yo, I'm all for it. And it looks like everyone is for it until they announce the director, Sean Levy. Now, I don't really have that much issues with Sean Levy. However, I don't know. Maybe he's not the best pick for the film, or maybe he is. We'll have to wait and see. Shit, 3 ran away. I just hope Sean Levy doesn't make this film a comedy, or even if it's not labeled as a comedy, I hope it doesn't have too many jokes. You know, just have the typical Marvel humor. Just don't make it full of jokes. Actually, don't even have the typical Marvel humor. Dial it back. You know, the amount of Marvel humor we normally get, dial that a little bit back. Now that we have Ryan Gosling cast as Ghost Rider, I have been seeing so many memes. Ghost Rider and Shang-Chi, we need you to distract Kang. And then it's everyone just posting the clip of them dance battling in the Barbie movie. Like, the memes are actually outrageous, you know? Things like, ooh, hold on. Things like, Doom is screwed if Daredevil gets him into a dark hallway. Or notice how Doom only started attacking after Hawkeye retired? Or things like, yo, they just need to call in the GOAT Daredevil to take care of Doctor Doom. However, aside from all that, like the memes after Ryan Gosling was announced as Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider, Shang-Chi, I need you to distract Doom, and then they just dance battle. Now, my big question is, which Ghost Rider is he playing? Is he playing Johnny Blaze? I really hope he's not playing Robbie Reyes. It took me a second to remember his name. I really hope he's not playing Robbie Reyes, which by all things he should not be. Robbie Reyes, because if Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon, we already have Robbie Reyes, played by Gabriel Luna. You know, they brought back damn near all the Marvel shows. I say damn near. Except for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like, that's the big one. Some of the ones they haven't canonized yet, well, they're smaller shows, like Runaways, Cloak and Dagger, Hellstrom. Who remembers Hellstrom? Like, they even loosely, somewhat canonize Inhumans by bringing back Anson Mount to play Black Bolt. A variant, but still, they still had him come back to play his character. However, in my opinion, Daredevil being canon canonizes all of it, except for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I guess Hellstrom. Because, uh, because Runaways had a crossover with Cloak and Dagger, thus canonizing both their shows together. And then the shows, I forget which one, I think it was Runaways, during the crossover. I think it was during that crossover they actually referenced Luke Cage. So that canonizes it to, in my eyes. But the one big show they haven't canonized yet is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And you know another thing? I'm surprised that this big Marvel object doesn't get used more. And, well, what they did with the object, they kind of can't use it anymore. The Darkhold. The Darkhold was big in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a time. It was also big in Runaways. And then it was used in WandaVision, Multiverse of Madness. But then they destroyed the Darkhold and every version of it in the multiverse. So they kind of cannot use the Darkhold in the future unless someone writes another copy of it. Anyway, so Ryan Gosling has been cast as Ghost Rider. So we'll have to wait and see. Another thing, they also announced Black Panther 3 and that we will be getting a new T'Challa. David Johnson is our new T'Challa. I'll be honest, I haven't seen anything he's in. I haven't seen, what was it, Aliens Requiem? What was the name of that film? I haven't seen that film or The Long Walk yet. I do actually want to watch that film, but I haven't seen it yet. So I haven't seen anything David Johnson is in. So, at least I will have to wait and see how he is when he plays the new T'Challa. I don't think he's recasted as the original T'Challa. I think he's going to be playing an aged-up version of T'Challa Jr., the son that T'Challa and Nakia had, and was revealed at the end of Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. I think he'll be playing an aged-up version of it. What's funny is on stage, you can see Letitia Wright's face just not that happy about this. Now, I'm pretty sure, I didn't double check the dates. I'm pretty sure that Black Panther 3 should come out after Secret Wars. Actually, I'm gonna look that up now. Oh, by the way, today was the premiere of Dead City Season 3. However, I'm not going to talk about that today. I'll talk about it next time. Man, that's not going to count. Okay, December 15th, 2028. So, yes, it comes out way after Secret Wars. Secret Wars is coming out 2027. This one's coming out in 2028. So, after Secret Wars, and you can only assume the multiverse resets, and we get a brand new history written for our timeline. Well, T'Challa Jr. just aged up. Was probably born a lot sooner and is now grown. Or he might actually be playing the original T'Challa, just looks different now. Maybe. It's a 50-50 on what they'll decide to do. I'll be honest, I would not be mad at either option. Since we know they're going to use Secret Wars, like the aftermath of Secret Wars, to recast some characters. So if those characters can look different, why can't T'Challa? So if this is the original T'Challa coming back just looking different, just like how you can assume other characters will come back and look different, I would not be too mad. However, if he was T'Challa Jr. aged up, I would not be mad either. Let me think. We also had the cast for Avengers Doomsday show up at Hall H. We got Ryan Reynolds in a gray Deadpool suit asking Paul Rudd, where is Thor and why was he crying? And when are you filming Avengers? Oh, we're already filmed. Like, we've wrapped. Oh, so there's no space for any additional characters? Pretty much saying that Deadpool will not show up in the film. However, I think they did announce that Ryan Reynolds is working on another Deadpool project, like early in development. So we don't know what it is just yet. Probably Deadpool 4 or some other project with Deadpool in it. You know, kind of like how Captain America Civil War was a big team-up film, but still a Captain America film. I guess that would still count as Deadpool 4. Unless he's about to come out and tell us that Deadpool and Wolverine didn't count as Deadpool 3. And now, this next film will be Deadpool 3. Actually, I'm losing track of what I'm even doing anymore. We also had an interview with James Marsden where he mentions Cyclops maxing. I saw people not too happy that he said that. Oh yeah, we also had John Bernthal come out and advertise Spider-Man Brand New Day. Like I said, they didn't have a whole lot of announcements. They also kind of came out, or Kevin Feige kind of came out and said that Blade has been canceled. Which is so stupid. Because we know Blade exists out there in the world. Remember when Mahershala Ali's voice was at the end of Eternals? That means there is a Blade somewhere out there. And also, Blade himself showed up in Marvel Zombies. Now, Marvel Zombies was supposed to come out after a Blade movie. Like, they were supposed to have a Blade movie out by then. But clearly, that didn't happen. But you know what? For the first time in a long time, I kinda have hope for Marvel. Can you believe? Like, their more recent track record for movies have been good. Well, not Captain America Brand New World. Brave New World. Brand New World. Because their recent track record has been good. The recent track record, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. And you can only assume that Brand New Day, Spider-Man Brand New Day will be good. And then there's also Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars. And then they announced these projects, you know? Announced Ghost Rider, announced Black Panther 3. Okay, that's the movie side, which does sound promising. What about the TV side? Well, you had Daredevil Born Again, which was pretty good. You know, rough start, but still good. Wonder Man, which was a surprise hit to the point it got a season 2. Right? Like, it looks like Marvel is kind of coming back. Slowly, limping their way back. But at least they're now putting out quality instead of quantity. You can give me as much quantities as you want, especially with Florence Pugh. However, it's like, you know, they're putting out more quality now. They're reducing the number of projects they have. And the projects are promising. that doesn't come with its, you know, its faults though. Kind of like how Doomsday has almost no build-up, and it has a very ragtag team-up, like, cast of characters. You know, to me, an Avengers... This is barely an Avengers movie, by the way. The term Avengers is more of just an ensemble cast, right? Just a big cast of characters. There's barely an Avengers in this film. You know, it's kind of like how Infinity War had the Avengers literally split up. The movie had an A and a B plot, so the Avengers weren't together. I suppose you could argue that the Earth side of Infinity War, you know, those were the Avengers. Because out in space, you had Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange, with the Guardians. Not really Avengers there. But this film, there is no Avengers team, unless you really want to be technical and say that the Thunderbolts are the new Avengers. Which, no offense to them, we love all those characters, but they suck. Like, these guys suck. And you know what? Everyone mentions certain characters after the Doomsday trailer. They mention Thor. They mention Cap, or Steve Rogers. They mention Yelena. They mention uh they mention Reed Richards. Some characters they mention, like, how is it gonna handle the Sentry in this film? Can't Sentry just solo Doom? I bet you they're gonna nerf the hell out of him. And the Void. However, nobody I see talk about, well, one Ghost, which I didn't even see this pointed out. Wait, what? I saw this pointed out, and I didn't even think about this. We're finally gonna get a Scott Lang. Oh boy, get off my screen. We're finally gonna get a reunion between We're finally gonna see a reunion between Scott Lang and Ghost. The last time they were together was at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, which was a pretty mid-film. At the end of the film, Scott went into the quantum realm to collect quantum particles for Ghost. But then the snap happened, and Scott just never followed up with Ghost. We didn't know where she was until the Thunderbolts movie. So we're actually going to see them reunite for the first time in quite a long time. I wonder if they'll actually mention that. Like, Scott, what happened? All those years ago, you were supposed to help me. Thanos happened right as we were doing that for you. But yeah, aside from nobody talking about Ghost, nobody talks about U.S. Agent either. John Walker. Like, nobody talks about him at all. He's barely in the trailer. I wonder what he's gonna do in the film. Because nobody mentions this either. Well, I did something wrong because there's 3 remaining. Nobody talks about this either. We're all wondering, how is Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson going to interact in this film? Nobody talks about the fact that Steve Rogers is hopefully going to meet John Walker. Like, so you're my replacement that the government put in play. Right, he'll even see John Walker's suit look the exact same, just in black, with a taco shell shield. And I like Wyatt Russell. I think he's a good actor. I think he's a fine enough actor. Right? I feel like he gets too much hate. Mostly because I saw him in Monarch Legacy of Monsters, right? Like, that's probably the biggest project I've seen him in. He was also in the webisode, the Oath webisode for The Walking Dead. He was responsible for the Don't Dead Open Inside door. I'll be honest, for the longest time, I didn't even know that was Wyatt Russell with his beard and long hair. Like, that actually made him unrecognizable to me. Haley Atwell also announced that she will be returning for Avengers Doomsday. I saw a lot of mixed reactions for this, more so negative than positive. And I think it's mostly people sick of seeing Captain Carter. Not gonna lie, it was hyped to see her in live action, but that was a variant. That wasn't the same Captain Carter. So the hype wasn't really there afterwards. But we want to see her back as Peggy Carter, not Captain Carter. And also, people were also questioning, where is Sharon Carter, Because Sharon Carter became a villain in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We don't know where she is. Maybe she went back to Madripoor. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. They also announced that the extended cut of Avengers Doomsday returning to theaters. I think it's called Avengers Dooms. Did I say Doomsday? Avengers Endgame returning to theaters. I think they're calling it Avengers Endgame Encore. I could be wrong about that. So, yeah, the Avengers Endgame Return to Theaters is going to have new scenes. And the new scenes, they came out and said that it will be Steve Rogers returning the Infinity Stones. Now, I question how that's going to be the case, since they didn't originally film that. Or maybe they did, I don't know. Because if they did not originally film that, then they would have had to get certain cast members back. Like maybe Tilda Swinton. Steve goes back and returns it to Tilda Swinton's the Ancient One. Or maybe they would need maybe Natalie Portman back to show Steve injecting her. Like, do you remember the How It Should Have Ended video? He'll need a replacement orb to put back on... Crap, what's the planet called? Morag? I think it was Morag. Ah, so close. We need one to remain, not two. So yeah, lots of news came out that I just wanted to come on and yap about. Also, we got a continuation for Reckless Ben's bricks and minifig scandal. Damn it, McNeff, you slimy worm. You know, a part of me wants to see this conflict resolved. Ammon gets what he deserves, which is nothing good. Is that one running? Nope. Like, I want to see it resolved. I want to see a happy ending, but this is reality. We don't always get a happy ending. And Reckless Ben himself said that this is probably like a 2-year journey at the most, or at the least, I should say. So, you know, I'm buckled in. I'm going to be following this story every time there's an update. What else? What else is there to talk about? Wait, was I supposed to get rid of 2 again? No, I think I was. Damn, 3 ran. You know what? What else is there to talk about? I'm also thinking of making a video to show off like my entire alpha living decks between the two games. I just need to see when I'll have time to record that footage. Record voiceover and then edit it together. Oh, y'all want to hear something funny? Yesterday, my friends came over to hang out. One of my friends made the argument that he was saying about me, he was saying, I think you're probably the one who spends the least out of all of us. And I'm just thinking, are you serious? Like, are you for real? If anything, I'm probably the guy who spends the most out of all of us. He actually made the argument I probably spend the least out of all our friends. I'm like, are you serious? You're joking, right? Because, let's face it, I buy a lot. I buy a crap ton. I buy a lot of amiibos, I buy a lot of video games, I buy video game consoles recklessly. I have 3 Nintendo Switches, albeit all different versions, of course. And I have a Switch 2. So you can make the argument I have 4. I have a Nintendo Switch original one, which is what I'm playing right now. I have a Switch Lite. I have an OLED Switch, which I never even opened. I bought that more for collecting. And I bought a Switch too, so that's 4 Switches. And yeah, I buy amiibos, I buy Funko Pops, U2s, occasional Hot Wheels, Pokemon cards. I did buy Bakugans, but they're not exactly popular on the market anymore. You know, I buy those expensive anime figures, right? So like, my friend was making the argument that I spend probably the least out of all our friends, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, are you actually joking? Because he was making the argument that, you know, some of our friends, like, let's say the 2 who probably spend the most. Ah, this is bad. The 2 who probably spend the most is because they constantly eat out. Because they're constantly buying food. And it's like, well, does that really count? You need to buy food to stay alive. And not like groceries, like buying meals, going out for dinner. And yeah, I buy food, right? I buy groceries. And then they spend money on I don't really know what else, but according to him, they spend a lot of money compared to me. So he was making the argument that it's like, you know, you don't buy amiibos every single day. You don't buy new video games every single day. You're just buying them every now and then. And it's because of that. That's why he's arguing that, yes, I may have spent a lot. Yes, I may buy a lot, but I don't buy that often. So he's arguing that because you don't buy that often, you probably have more saved up compared to the rest of us. Since you also work 3 jobs, like you're getting paid a lot more. You make more an hour than we do. Right? So it's like, he made the argument I probably spend the least. Well, maybe not spend the least, but I probably have the most saved up out of everyone. And I'm thinking, even if that was true, it would probably be not a lot saved up compared to the rest of you guys. Like, it would probably be a very little amount. compared to what y'all's have. Like, the amount I have saved up, let's face it, it's not enough to buy a home, or buy a car, or pay rent. Right? It's enough to recklessly spend and give me joy and happiness in the moment. But actual essentials? Nah. So, yeah, I'm thinking, like, is he serious? It's either I spend the least in comparison, or I have the most saved up. Like, y'all should see some of the things some of the things I've bought, some of the things I purchased, some of the things I own. Let me tell you, folks, the money it piles on, it adds up. If you were to add up all the things that I purchased, and not like movie tickets or food or whatever, like actual worthless junk I've bought, like video games and figurines and collectibles and other toys and knickknacks. And yes, let's also rope in gaming consoles, because those are not essential. Yeah, I spent a shit ton. Like, I don't even know how much. It's more, let's face it, it's beyond 10,000. 50,000? Probably more. 100,000? Now we're getting up to the big numbers that are probably reasonable. Probably pretty accurate. Should I even count this? Like, what about McDonald's? Like Happy Meals, so I can get the toys or the Pokemon cards, right? Sure, I got food with it, but I mostly spent the money for the things to collect. Should I count that? But anyways, if you were to count all the figurines, all the Hot Wheels, all the toys I've bought, all the collectibles, gaming consoles, video games themselves, and he's saying that I probably have the most saved up. I probably spend the least. I'm like, are you guys serious? I don't know what you guys are spending y'all's money on. A friend of mine, like the friend of mine who did bring this up, he did say plane tickets are expensive, and I'm like, what do you need a plane ticket for? He's still in school, and he's going to be flying to New York to continue his education. Yeah, it's like, that's different, though. That's for school. Me, on the other hand, I'm buying all this junk, these pieces of plastic, just to display and collect dust. It's like, that's not the same. One could argue all the money I've spent on college in that case, right? All the money I've wasted on those failed final exam attempts. Because yes, I did have to pay for those. I now need to get rid of 2 more, right? Or do I need to get rid of all 4? I don't remember. Either 3 remains here, or 4. If I did it all correctly. But yeah, what a ridiculous argument to have. That I spend the least out of everyone. If anything, the exact opposite is the case. I spend the most. Because my friends yesterday were also looking through some of the stuff I have, some of the stuff I've bought in the past and own, and how much they're worth now. Like the Van Gogh Pikachu card I bought a couple years ago because a friend told me to. He told me, yo, buy these so that you can get the card. I think at the time it was something like buy $30 worth of buy $30 worth of merchandise and you get this card with it. So I did it for some reason. And now, well, as of this moment, my friend looked it up last night. Ungraded goes for $999. And graded a PSA 10 goes for like $2,000. My friend who's told me to buy the card, he did grade it, and it is a PSA 10. So at the very least, I have $1,000 worth of a piece of cardboard literally just sitting in my drawer that I plan to do nothing with. And then, from 10 years ago, in 2016, the year of the mythical Pokemon or whatever, damn, I wish I bought more. I did buy the Mew box card set, and I'm told by my friends that now it goes for like $500, still sealed. I bought it for like, I don't know, like 16 bucks maybe. I forget how much I spent on it. I know I didn't spend more than $20. I bought it a decade ago, and I never opened it for some reason. It just sat here for 10 years, and now it's worth like half a G. By the way, you see what I'm dealing with throughout my own personal time? I'm trying to get this one permutation to work, and after all this time, it still hasn't even worked properly. I really don't think permutation is worth it. It's a double-edged sword. I could get it, and it could all be over, or I could just waste a ton of my time because there is no shiny in all of these permutations. Run away, damn you! I bet you the Mime June. I bet you the Mr. Mime is gonna be there. No, it's not. But I still get the gut feeling this is not done properly. Only 3 were running away. I don't know. Also, last night my friends were gambling, like genuinely gambling. This, like, gambling phone app that my friend was playing on, he got another friend of mine to download it and try it, and then he was pretty much gambling the rest of the night away. And it's not like one of those, like, fake games where you use the in-game currency. No, they were betting actual money. Like, you actually had to deposit from your bank before you start gambling. I don't know specifically what it was, like which app it was, so don't ask me. I certainly wouldn't do it, though. Why do you think I stopped collecting Pokemon cards? Ugh. I'm gonna hope the one at the back not running anymore counts as it not despawning. Now I need to get rid of 2 more. Okay, no Mr. Mime, so that's a good sign. That didn't alert that one, though. All of you, run, 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 run! God damn it! Wait, what? You want to know something else I thought about? And don't get it twisted, I'm not at all saying that this is a bad thing. I find it kind of fascinating. If you really think about it, we as humans kinda have gone against nature and natural selection. Now, hear me out. Hold on. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but hear me out. Hear out what I mean. Because, we as humans have evolved to have doctors who specialize in medicine and disease and specialists to specialize in a particular problem. However, that doesn't happen in nature. All the other animals in the animal kingdom, they don't have doctors and medical care and professionals. No, in nature, if anything happens, you just die. That's just natural selection. And especially in my line of field that deals with the eyes, I'm thinking to myself, god damn, I see some people with some of the shittiest visions ever. Out there in nature, yeah, these people would have died. Their natural selection would have just killed them, with their bad vision. They would then never have kids, thus passing down their bad eyesight. Like that's just the case in nature. If an animal is born with bad eyesight, it will just die earlier on. Like, think about it. We have so many problems as humans, like medical problems. You have asthma, you have diabetes, you have what have you, right? I think I already messed up there. Right? Like, we have so many problems as humans, and yet we have been able to, uh, we have doctors and professionals who may not be able to fix and cure all of these, but we are able to help it. Out in nature, if any animal has these kind of problems, no, they just die. They will just die and become someone else's meal. So if you think about it, we as humans have kind of gone against nature, kind of gone against natural selection. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Of course, that's a good thing. Makes you also wonder, if the apocalypse were to ever happen, how many additional people will die on top of whatever plague killed humanity? Or some sort of predator or plague killed majority of the population? How many more would fall because of no medical care? No modern day science and technology to help with whatever condition you might have? Hell, just simply no antibiotics, that we drop like flies. That also made me think of something else though, like animals in nature, they have no access to clean water, at least for a majority of the time. Animals in nature, they drink from rivers and ponds and what have you. And that water is clearly not clean enough for humans to drink, at least on face value, right? We're recommended to filter it, boil it, before we can actually drink it safely. But animals, nah, they just drink it straight up. Which, has kind of made me think. Again, it's not necessarily a bad thing, at least not until the apocalypse ever happens. We as humans have evolved to only accept clean water. We drink even a drop of lake water or pond water, and guess what happens? But for the majority of it, animals out there, they should have evolved to where drinking, uh, you know, drinking dirty lake water is fine. Because honestly, what other options do they have? But it's not necessarily my problem. You know, I don't have to worry about it until the apocalypse does ever actually happen. I already kind of lost track. Am I supposed to get rid of all four now? Not even close, of course. Nice. Now they're all running at different times. Ugh. Man, I gotta work tomorrow too. God damn it! Well, I ran out of things to talk about. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Wrong buttons and wrong outcome. I think I may, for real, just be done with the permutation hunt. Like, I spent almost 2 hours just trying to get this one permutation to work, and it isn't working. And I have like 40 more to go. You know, in the future, we're bound to just get more Mime Jr. outbreaks that could have a second wave of alphas. I can always just check the initial spawns, and maybe I'll get lucky enough. Like, I don't have to stick with this one, right? But I'll still continue with the permutation hunt a little bit. I'll see if I can get others to work. And if I truly give up, well, then you'll see me back here doing what I was doing before. Man, I gotta get gas tomorrow morning before going to work, too. I could have got it tonight, but I don't wanna. I don't want to go back out. Pretty sure now I make 2 more go away. Wow. Amazingly, that doesn't count as a Pokemon spotted you. You know what? I think they're close enough I don't even need to attract them with the berry. You little piece of fucking shit. You just had to wait until they all stopped moving until you started moving. Well, there's no Mime Jr., but that could also mean that only one despawned. Damn, a third one was about to start running away. And I bet you that will count, just because this game does not like me. What the hell, man? Like, what the hell? Uh, fine. I'll see what happens if I get rid of all 4, or at least if I try to attempt it. Whoops. Eh. All things considered, that was close, since we need 1 remaining. No, not nice. I haven't even made this work once yet. I don't think I'll continue with the permutations. Or at least, not... I was about to say not forever, but obviously. I'm gonna give it a couple more tries, like on my own. But then I'll just completely give up on this method. Even if it could guarantee me what I'm looking for. The amount of time I'm putting into this, time and effort, just ain't worth it. Because it's been almost 2 hours and I can't even get this one to work properly. And if I were to continue, I have 40 more to go. Oh, is that the smell of food? You can see that this entire night, I've only managed to get all 4 to run from me at the same time once. Aw, for a second I got happy, because I saw 1. But no, there was 2. How hard could it be, you know? How hard could it possibly be? I already got a shiny Alpha Staravia and Abra. It shouldn't be that hard. And there's a Mr. Mime. Three ran away. Yeah, 100 years to get this thing. Why didn't I settle for just a regular shiny? Why'd I have to go for an alpha? I think now's the time I try to get rid of all four, right? Ah, whatever. See, I need all four of them to run away, but the RNG screws me up. Yeah, not even close. Okay, let me tell you again exactly what it is I'm trying to achieve here. Okay, first I need to get rid of two. Now I need to get rid of another two. And now I need to try to get rid of all four at once. Why are you so far away from the rest? Only one ran away there. I wonder if I aggro you to run before you despawn, would that count? And if I did it properly, there would only be one remaining there. No, there's two. And there's a... Actually, I've never seen this before. I've never seen 2 remaining, and it's a Mr. Mime and a Mime Jr. I actually don't know what'll happen. No, of course not. Well, I'm going to call it here for tonight. I will see how much further I will take this permutation hunt until I give up. Okay, bye guys.